It's all kicking off in Spanish holiday hotspots like Mallorca and the Canary Islands. This is actually the Canary Islands, residents protesting against too much tourism. Look at the amount of people there.
It's an incredible amount of people. There have even been threats from some groups to bring airports to a standstill this summer. Travel writer Ash Bhardwaj is here with a guide on keeping yourself safe. We saw there incredible scenes. What has been going on? Should we actually be worried about going on holiday this summer?
Now, the first thing to say is that the vast majority of us are going to have a lovely summer holiday, and it's not something to worry about. The things that you've seen in Spain are just protests that have lasted a day or two. They're not civil unrest, and they cause some irritation and a bit of disruption, but they're no reason to cancel your holiday. Now, the reason they're happening is whilst tourism has been a huge boom to the local economies in these places, it's also pushed up the cost of rent and property prices, and locals are protesting against that. As I say, it's only lasting a day or two. It's not unsafe, it's just a bit irritating. But what it is, it's a reminder for all of us to keep in touch with what's going on in the places that we're travelling to.
That's exactly it, isn't it? There's so many people looking forward to a summer holiday this year, but our job is to protect people, keep them safe when they do go there, and lots of people would have seen, along with those protests, all this talk and the pictures from wildfires in popular holiday destinations like Greece, southern Turkey in the US. This is New Mexico. I mean, obviously really scary pictures.
Yeah, and if you remember, last year, 25,000 people had to be evacuated from roads because of the wildfires there. Now, what's happening is we're entering wildfire season, which peaks in July and August, and some of these places are seeing temperatures of over 50 degrees Celsius. And as the place gets drier and hotter, you're more likely to get wildfires. And because of climate change, more of the places we visit are dry and hotter for longer. So we are going to start seeing more of this. It may affect our tourism. And actually, over the last 5 years, 13% of all travel insurance claims have been evacuations or related to natural disasters. So this is something that can affect your travel.
Yeah, you forget, don't you? We were talking about last summer, 25,000 people. I mean, you obviously can't predict when a natural disaster is going to strike on holiday, but there are some things that you can keep on your radar and do to prepare.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this case, knowledge is power. Know before you go. And the best place to learn about what might happen is the FCDO, Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office website. They have travel advice and they use a traffic light system. So if a place is green, it's safe to travel. If it's amber, they advise against all but essential travel, so no holidays, and red is advising against all travel. Now, they also have other bits of information on there, such as, is this an area where wildfires are possible? Are there any likely weather events, like hurricanes or typhoons? But they also have really good advice about travel generally, so local laws and customs, and visa requirements, entry requirements, and really good travel advice for solo travellers, LGBTQ+ travellers and disabled travellers. So wherever you're going, anywhere in the world, at any time, always check that website, and it even has stuff about upcoming industrial action or strikes.
But it's good to have a one-stop shop, isn't it? Because you know when you book somewhere and then there's always some clever so-and-so who goes, oh, can you do this there? Can you do that there? Well, you can check.
Yeah.
Check it all online. What happens when...
You know the person, don't you?
What's happening when you're going on holiday? And what can you do to protect yourself when you're actually there? Maybe when you get to the hotel that you've booked into?
Yeah, and I've been to a few places where you have to really think about this. Preparation is what really matters, and it's what would you do if the worst were to happen? So once you've done all that thinking and done all that preparation, then you can just get on with enjoying your travel. So the first thing to do is when you arrive somewhere and you go to the hotel desk, then ask them, what are the evacuation plans or procedures if there were to be a wildfire? That way, if it did happen, you've already thought it through, so it's less of a shock. And whilst you're at the hotel desk, pick up a map. You know the kind of paper maps they give out for free at places. Most of us use phones to get around these days, but in the event of a natural disaster, sometimes the phone network will go down. And if you've got a map, then it's just showing you which direction the airport is in, maybe where the local emergency shelters are, or what the evacuation routes are. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, and also you are a man that's travelled the world all over the place in different types of places. What does a man like you carry in his rucksack, and what should we be carrying in our rucksack? Yeah,
so the thing that I would talk about is a grab bag. Now, often if I'm walking, I've got everything in one backpack. But if you're in a hotel, what this is, it's just a bag that you can grab at short notice. It's got everything that you need to keep you and your family safe and secure for 24, 48 hours. So that's things like a change of underwear, a change of T-shirt, any medicines you might need for a day or two, or a week even, photocopies of documents. And if you've got kids, you might want to put nappies in there or any formula, things like that.
And a cool bomber jacket as well. It's essential. That's for you, is it, Ash?
Well, yes, that's so I can look stylish as I'm evacuating
absolutely.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And passports as well. So, you keep your passport in your hotel safe. But if I'm travelling somewhere where I might have to move at a moment's notice, or if I've been told that you might have to move in the next half an hour or hour, then I'll put it in a lanyard around my neck and underneath my T-shirt, so it's nice and safe and secure. And I know I've got it on me, so I don't have to dash back and find it in the hotel or anything.
Something we talked about a lot last summer when the fires were unfolding in Rhodes was insurance. Mm-hmm. What about insuring yourself for incidents like wildfires?
So if you're forced to cancel your trip before you travel or it's cut short, you can usually secure a refund from the hotel or the tour operator or the airline directly. But travel insurance is really important to cover key additional costs that you might incur, so short notice accommodation or short notice travel. Now, most standard policies don't cover, as standard, natural disasters or wildfires or things like that. So you may have to upgrade to premium, call your insurance provider just to check. And this is usually only a couple of quid a week, and it's worth it to save yourself thousands of pounds in the long run. You used to see this term acts of God on insurance policies, and with the increased coverage for wildfires or natural disasters, they've tended to be a bit more specific about what they cover. Now, I know a travel insurance document is not fun to read through, so just bring it up on your computer, hit the search button or Control F, and then just type in the terms that you want to check, such as natural disasters or wildfires, and then it will tell you if it's covered.
That's a good technique.
Yeah, and we're talking about worst case scenario here, aren't we? Lots of people will be jetting off on holiday, have a lovely time, but why not be prepared? And just on that, the FCDO will put a link to that website on the Morning Live website so for you to have a look. bbc.co.uk/morninglive. Thank you, Ash.
Now, whether you are on holiday or at